All right, we're talking about society's role models. The average societal role model is a complete degenerate. Like, if you go on YouTube homepage, and I use Unhook, so I don't even see recommended videos, but I have an idea of what's there. Right? You see people like Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross does this or that, some stupid thing. Or I think he's a gambling streamer now. If he's on Kick, I think Kick's basically a gambling streaming platform, but not completely sure. And people like I Show Speed. Like, where do I even start with that guy? I mean, wasn't he doing the volcano experiment that we all did in school, but he ended up getting sent to the hospital? How does that even happen? How do you get sent to the hospital doing a third grade science? Anyways, God, dude, like, millions of kids look up to this guy. Right, and I don't want this to be some hit piece on these people. That's not the point. The point is, when kids go on the internet, these are the type of people they're exposed to. And kids are very gullible. They're very vulnerable. So the second they see someone big do a bunch of stuff, they're like, wow, I want to do that too. So then I'm just playing video games all day. And all this other stuff. And the truth is, it's very different from like Aiden Ross or I Show Speed, because at least they make money. At least they're making a living off of it. I can at least say that. Doesn't justify anything they're doing, in my opinion, but at least I could say that. But with these kids, and most of the time, 99% of the time, they won't take the streaming, the money-making aspects, because they don't learn anything about that when they watch their streams. All they're learning is to play video games. Or do some stupid stuff. I mean, play video games or do stupid stuff. Those are the two categories. That's all they're learning, so that's all they do all day. Like, if you go to school, and I remember, I'll go back to my personal experience. Before Aiden Ross was big, before I Show Speed, when I was still in school, I went out of school at 6th grade, by the way, so, like, 5+ years ago. Who was everyone watching? People like Lil Pump. Lil Pump was so popular in my school, and I was like, and looking back, it's like, no, Lil Pump is not a good role model in any regard. It's like all these other rappers. He just talks about drugs and women, all this other degenerate stuff. Lil Pump. Who else? 21 Savage. I mean, none of these people are good role models. It's surprising they're all musical artists. I can't really remember any YouTubers that were. I feel like there were some, but I'm just not remembering right now. I just don't recall really hearing people like Aiden Ross back then. YouTube. Whatever. I forgot. Probably a good thing I forgot. In any case, this is who people look up to. In fact, the reason why I probably don't remember is because I was watching like mostly informational stuff back then. But in any case, these are the people that kids look up to. And let's look at this logically, okay? This is a never-ending cycle. It needs to be broken at some point because for a very long time, kids had good role models. Good role models, good role models, good role models. Now realize the massive issue we're going to face here. Now the role models are bad. The kids want to emulate the role models. The kids then themselves, some of them are actually going to become role models themselves, but they're emulating the old role models. So now they're like 2.0 versions of Aiden Ross, I Show Speed, this, that, and the third. And then they start being role models for the kids. And then this is a never-ending cycle. To theoretical infinite. Remember, because actual infinites don't exist. I don't know how I fit in my Christian apologetics research here, but actual infinites don't exist. So theoretical infinite. Damn, I just sounded like such a nerd. Anyways, in a serious note, this is going to end up being a theoretical infinite cycle of kids not doing anything important. And the truth is, this is important because when you follow these role models' lead, you're going to end up just being a pawn for society. Society tells you do X, Y, and Z. You're going to do it without questioning it, and that's very dangerous. Okay, I think everyone can agree on with that, because how does every tyranny, every dictatorship, every violation of human rights start? Mass violation of human rights start? It starts by people blindly agreeing with stuff. So these kids are going to be very docile, and by the way, the lifestyles Aiden Ross, I Show Speed's purport is one of low testosterone. To put it bluntly. It's not physically active, none of these things. The issue with that is very simple. When you have more testosterone, you're more disagreeable. When you have less testosterone, you're more docile. You're more agreeable. So not only does playing video games and all this other stuff make you more agreeable in the sense that you aren't doing anything important, so why stand up for anything? You don't have no core values when you do that type of stuff all day. Not only that, but also your hormonal level is making you more docile, making you more willing to submit to things. So this is a one-way street to destruction. Kids aren't going to be able to say no, and this also goes for peer pressure in their own lives, because you need to be able to say no as a kid, especially now. I mean, there's a bunch of kids selling drugs. Even in my school, when I was in 6th grade, okay, there was drugs in my school. Now, granted, I didn't live in a good area, but still, there were drugs in my 6th grade school. Literally. And again, what were all the rapper role models saying? Weed, drugs, women, blah, 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 all this degenerate stuff. And then the kids at school end up bringing drugs to school and selling it at school. I mean, doesn't that prove my point there? Anyways, even in 6th grade, and if you have the wrong friends, and you can't really tell at the start, you just talk to people and you end up being friends with them, right? And then your friends start saying, hey, you should take this, we take it, it's fun, blah, 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 blah. You need to be able to say no. But these role models are making you docile. They're making you unwilling to say no to things by way of not giving any core values and also crashing your hormonal profile. It's going to be harder to say no to those drugs. And the truth is, it takes, you can take some green lettuce, right? You'll be okay. They kind of overblow. I'm going to make another video about that. Don't do it. Okay? That's not the reason why you shouldn't do it. Okay? The reason why you shouldn't do it is because it makes you lazy. But in any case, you'll be fine. Okay, you're not going to die. But it happened to people I know. It gets laced. Something way harder gets put in it, and then guess what? Now they're drug addicts. Literally. So this is actually serious. Yeah, I didn't expect this video to be so serious, but this is actually how it is. This is the real world right here. I know a lot of people are like, I like Aiden Ross, I like watching I Show Speed. But the truth is, if you follow the line, these people, and I'm not saying they're responsible. Get that point across. This is people's interpretation's fault. Aiden Ross and I Show Speed never said do drugs. Okay? They're not responsible for this. Who's responsible are the people that are listening, and then the people who actively watch it and they're ignorant. Ignorance is not a defense. Okay? They end up following their advice, end up emulating them, then they get all of these byproducts, and these byproducts lead to this potentially fatal, potentially life-ruining event. And don't say it doesn't happen, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay? Now, we can't expect these kids to all revert, because they're kids. They're going to do whatever's convenient for them. They're going to listen to the first person they see. So what we need to do as a collective is be the first person they see and actually give a positive message. This is how we reverse society. Reverse it in the right way. Get rid of all the degeneracy. You can actually move forward.